everyone, this is Yvonne from Yvonne Ceramics. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make cartoon snakes like this one here and this one here. So I'll be showing you two different types of snakes because it is Lunar New Year coming up, and it's the year of the snake. So it'll be a good project to make if you celebrate Lunar New Year. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more videos each week. In this project, we're gonna start with a lump of clay. I have already make it into a coil about this size. Then I am going to roll it along on my table. With the snake, the end of it is a little bit pointy, so I'm rolling more on one end compared to the other end. As you can see, this is getting more pointy. But then on the other end, I also want it a little bit thinner. Right now it's a bit too thick. So I'm rolling my hand along this whole coil to make sure it is nice and round. Now it's looking pretty good, but then this end is still a little bit not as pointy as I liked, so I'm rolling a bit more. Now it's looking pretty good. Yeah, it's quite pointy. I think we are good to go. But with coiling it, I'm afraid it might get a bit wrinkled, so I'm going to dip this into the water so that it will be more flexible when I am moving it. So you can see that it is shiny because it's coated with water, so that when I am coiling it, it will be easier and less likely to break. And I am going to make this even more pointy on the end because now it is smooth with water, so it's easier to make it pointy. So now I'm going at it at a slower speed. I don't want to break this coil. I'm slowly turning this coil so that the snake is coiling around, and I want the pointy end of the snail to be facing me, and so I'm slowly coiling and then just moving the head tilted towards me as well. That would be the head. So it's looking pretty good. I like how the head is facing me, and same as the tail. Just need to smooth out the head here a little bit. Let me get some water and just smooth this out. I'm going for more like a cartoon snake style because I don't want it to be too scary. This is going to be a Lunar New Year snake project, so that's why I don't want it to be a scary snake. I think the general shape is looking really good now. Let me put this down, and I'm going to get a little bit of clay to make the eyes. I want both of the eyeballs to be about the same size, so I'm going to roll one in my hand first, and then roll the other one and compare. I think one is a little bit too big, so I can take out some clay and continue to roll until I feel like both are the same size, but still a little bit too big. So let's see now. I think it's looking pretty good. It goes on the top of the head. I think it's good. So now let's do some scoring. I'm going to score the back of the eyeballs, and then put a little bit of water on. So this would be act as a slip. So I slip and score, and I'm going to gently push the eyeball onto the head of the snake. The reason is you want to put some gentle pressure on it so that it doesn't fall out during the drying process. So I think it's looking really good now. So now I'm using this end of this wooden tool, which is curved, to make the mouth. I want this to be a smiling snake because it's supposed to be happy time in the Lunar New Year. So I'm just pressing it down. As you can see, it has this curved smile on the snake. I think it looks pretty good. Then I want to add some lines, some dots with underglaze for the snake, but I want some lines at the front to kind of give it like a snake texture on it. So I'm using this thin needle tool to create the lines. This is just optional. I like it like that because if you look at some pictures online, the snakes often have these lines on its belly. So because it's coiled in, I'm not going to make all the way. And if there's any little lines and wrinkles, you want to smooth that out at this point. You can use a little paintbrush or a wooden tool to help you smooth out these areas. This joint point, I'm a little bit concerned. I don't know if it will break or crack during the drying process. I'm gonna take it apart and using my scoring tool to score the area, and then adding a little bit of water to help with the joining. Just pushing it together so that it joins really well. Then I'm going to use my paintbrush to smooth out the outside. I think it's pretty good, really solid joint. As you can see, the back of this eyeball needs some smoothing as well. And just do some checking to see if any other area. I think it's looking pretty good. It's a pretty easy project for the first snake. Now let's move on to our second snake. This is the first one, which is a coil around. The second one is going to be used as a hanging ornament for Lunar New Year, but we're going to start the same way of us rolling. One end's going to be pointy and the other one end's going to be rounded like this one here. I'm not doing the coil snake for the second one because the second one will be a hanging ornament, and I want this type of snake to be more functional, because if you're gonna hang it, a coil snake might break more easily. That's why the second type of snake will be more functional, more together. You'll see what I mean once I make it. I think the thickness is pretty good now, but I think it's a bit long, so I'm gonna cut it around here and then we'll see if this is a good length. But otherwise, it's really good size for the second snake. I'm gonna wet it again, like you see that it's shiny right now. I'm gonna start with the tail end, pointing up, then slowly coiling it up and down, like so. You can see on the side view, I'm doing it very slowly so that I'm not breaking the coil, because at this point the clay is a little bit firm, even though I have put some water on, but still it could break quite easily, so you need to be very gentle while you're bending the coil. And now I have complete all my bend. You can see that's what it looks like, but the head area is still a little bit long, and you can see this form is more together, more squished together. That's why it will be much easier to hang as a hanging ornament. The head is a bit long. I'm gonna pinch off some clay now, and I'm going to round off the head with the head pointing a little bit down, and I might need some water to smooth out this head here. think it's looking pretty good. It's going for the same style as a cartoon snake, with the eyes on the top of the head. So I need to make sure both eyeballs are about the same size. I'm rolling the balls in my palm to make sure that they're about the same size. Let's take a look. I think they are pretty good this time. So if you think it's really good, then you can score the back of the eyeball. It's really a good idea to slip and score every time you joint something, or else it could just dry off and fall off during the drying process. So same thing, attaching the eyeball on the top of the head and then pushing it down, making sure it sticks to the head. Okay, that looks pretty cute. Now with the mouth, I'm using the same tool to impress into the clay to create a smile on the snake. Okay, looking really good now. Now we do have some joint on this snake, and in order to make it stronger joint, we do need to attach it well. But first I do see some wrinkles, so I'm using a wet paintbrush to smooth out those lines, those stretch marks. And this joint I want to open up now, and using my scoring tool to score it and add a little bit of water as slip, and then push it back together to create a stronger joint. And same for this part where the tail is attaching, I'm going to do some scoring as well. So even though now it looks like it is sticking together because of the wetness of the coil, it doesn't have any scoring. That's why it could pull apart later on during the drying. That's why I want to make sure it is slipped and scored and pressed in together. And then now I'm using my wet paintbrush to smooth out any lines, any cracks, especially the bottom. Make sure you check the bottom here, smooth those out. So this is a really good form for hanging. It's very tight together compared to the coil snake. So now it's time to create those same lines for the belly of the snake. You can use the same tool, or you can use the needle tool to create those lines. It's really your personal preference. As I mentioned earlier, this is a hanging ornament, so I've got some high fire wire hooks here. So I need to put these hooks onto the clay snake right now before it gets too dry. So I need to make sure it goes in the right way, because I want the side view to look like this when it's fired. So if I go through this, the ribbon goes through like that way through the hooks, then this would be facing me. So I have one on the top and one on the bottom here, because I want to do some hanging, some other ornaments on the bottom as well for this specific type of ornament. This is what I have here. This is kind of like a red ribbony thing that I'm going to hang on the bottom. The top will be just a ribbon, and the bottom will be like these guys here. Of course, I'll hang this after glaze firing. So here are the two snakes project that I have for the Lunar New Year, the coil one and the hanging one. Let me know in the comment section which one you like better. Thank you everyone for watching. See you guys next time. Bye bye.